what you want.
Welcome, one and all. No means no thing. No means nothing. Our 32nd episode, and we didn't make a big deal out of it. We sort of let it blow by, but over a year old. It's over a year old, this fucking podcast.
Get out of
Can you
here.
believe it? Yeah, we started like way back in last February, I think. So we've passed that mark, and we're still not through round one. So it's going to last a while. I don't know whether that's good news for some of you or bad news, but you still got a little bit. As long as we can stick with this shit, you got a little bit left. And on that note, I am one of your hosts, Jordan.
I am an additional host, Matthew.
And I'm the hostess with the mostest, Michelle.
The ghostest
There
with
we
the
go.
toastest.
The hostess with the toast.
We are three absolute idiots doing our best to make our way through the No Means No catalog, pitting 4 songs 2-on-2 against each other each episode in a ridiculous effort to find the best No Means No song of all time. Spoilers, there isn't one, or there's lots of them, but we're going to do our best to find it anyway. So strap on your feed bags, your drinkums,
Or
whatever you
other
got, and
widgets.
or other widgets, and let's see what we got.
Steakums.
But those of you who've been
Steakums. I was thinking stuff.
Steakums.
Steakums.
But those of you who've been on this trip before, which let's face it, is probably most of you. Let's you know what comes next. We're going to do a little bit of the power of positive drinking, and you all know we like to start with Strangest. What have you got for us tonight, Strangest?
Well, you know what I got, but before I tell you what I got that you know that I've got, I want to show off this mug. It's dirty because I used it last night, but I'm going to reuse it without washing it.
It's
This
filthy.
is from Filthy. This is from Doyle's Cafe in Jamaica Plain, Boston, which they call it JP for short. But I believe I went here, and I think this was the first bar where what's that Boston beer? Oh shit! The guy's name
Samuel Adams.
Samuel Adams.
Right.
Sam Adams
Was poured, made, delivered, whatever. It's a big like Sam Adams thing. Doyle's Cafe. But that's my pint glass that I'm using, and
But you're not putting Sam Adams in it.
no, I'm not. I'm putting the Lord's
nectar.
7th wonder of the world.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's like
Or
harmonics and shit.
6th wonder of the world? 7th? How many wonders of the world are there? Oh,
It's at least 8. A couple of them.
I think there's 8.
There's 8. Yeah, so this is the 9th.
This is the 9th wonder of the world.
We'll give it slot 9 and 10 just because it's that good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm having a Guinness.
Yes. I am not having a Guinness, and I'm not having a Marniac. I am instead having some bourbon whiskey, Redwood Empire. A friend of mine who works for a distributor. Yeah. A friend of mine who works for a distributor here in town gave me a couple of bottles.
Look at that label with a guy's head.
Isn't it cool? It's like a tree coming out of his head.
That's wicked.
Right?
Yeah.
But this stuff is super good. It's bottled here in Petaluma.
Are they allowed to call it bourbon? I thought that was like a whole thing about bourbon has to be made in Kentucky.
It says bourbon whiskey. So maybe because they add the word whiskey on it.
I see.
It's like
the burbs.
Champagne-esque.
They make Tennessee whiskey. It's called Tennessee whiskey, and then there's like Colorado whiskey.
Look at you with your proper sifter smelling mug there.
It's fucking good as hell, everyone.
Wow.
That is some good shit. And actually that's kind of a deep pour for me. So by the time we get to the end of it, I'm going to be all wet. Anyway, Matthew, what you got?
Well, I
What's up
have
your widget?
a panoply of choices.
Yay! No.
Madame Roxanne.
Oh!
Black raspberry sour from Strange Fellows Brewing.
Strange Fellows Brewing.
Yeah, Strange Fellows does some good shit. I'm glad that they I like their stuff, but they would definitely deepen that whole like let's add hops to everything. A lot of hops all the time. But they're
no hops.
maybe
Yucky.
not doing that so much. Oh, not no hops, but just not
Not so
crazy
much.
amounts.
Not
of
all
hops.
hops
Okay,
all
we
the
got
time.
from in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
Oh.
By the way, yeah, Strange Fellows is here in Vancouver. It's actually very close to my house. Actually, closer to my house than my work is.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. We got Goin from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. The Voltage
my
Espresso
God.
Stout. And you guys always vote for the stout, so I don't know.
Well, drink it already.
And I got from Persephone, which is on the Sunshine Coast, just north of Vancouver. Actually, sort of northwest of Vancouver. It's where John and, they live on the Sunshine Coast technically. That's where Pell River is. Persephone Brewing. This is Hop Yard Red Ale.
Oh, that looks nice.
It.
And then an additional option.
Oh, Jesus!
Because tomorrow is a special
the wild
day.
card.
It's I try not to get into the brown liquor too much because it's a little too tempting a lot of the time. So tomorrow is a special day for me, and so I decided to buy myself some garage whiskey. This is
garage whiskey.
Yeah, garage
what
whiskey.
What
I
is
finished
that?
my other
Is
garage
that,
whiskey. It's Scotch.
Why do
Do
you
it.
call
Come on.
it garage whiskey?
Get on the whiskey train.
Because it's in the garage
buddy.
and it's whiskey.
Yeah. It looks like a bottle of mouthwash, though. The way that bottle.
Yeah, it does look like Listerine, doesn't it?
It looks like Listerine.
Holy shit!
Well, I know that
That's
Jura is
my
on
vote.
an island of Jura, and it's like the only distillery on that island, and I think it's sort of considered an islands group whiskey. But I'm not a whiskey connoisseur by any means. It was just inexpensive, or less expensive. So
less expensive.
Maybe I'll have a beer, and I might chase it with.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dip into that after. I vote for the stout. Would be my vote. What about you,
too.
Michelle?
But he never listens to us. He always tempts
well,
us.
that's two. That's two. That's two.
Of course,
2 to 1.
The stout is what I'm voting for.
It's always the stout for you people. Okay.
Well,
yeah. Actually, it's really kind of good. All right, Voltus Espresso
Doesn't
Stout.
it have espresso in it? Is that what it said on the label? Espresso stout?
Sometimes when they're talking about chocolate malt and everything, it's not actually chocolate.
See?
It's like the color of the barley.
Oh.
No, there's coffee in there. I can smell it.
Oh man, see that's what Guinness is like.
Around.
Guinness is like French roast coffee.
It is.
Totally.
It's delicious.
Totally.
It is.
Yep.
I'm a coffee whore. I drink like 40 cups. Well, not 40 cups, but that's just maybe 2 cups more than I drink.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, look at that.
Ooh, that looks
you
yummy.
didn't pour it on the right angle, did you?
Noob.
I
I don't know how to pour beer.
But that's no 45-degree angle there.
It was
Ladies
when I
and
poured
gentlemen.
it. You just didn't see it. Anyway, yeah, Hoyne
got-
Brewery is maybe one of my consistent favorites.
Nice.
Hoyne.
Well, listen, we've got our drinks and we're all sipping as we speak simultaneously. So crack yours open.
Yeah.
And settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down.
Chuck.
Sorry.
Settle down,
And
Chuck.
get ready. Yeah.
Poor Chuck.
We've got. Oh, we love Chuck. You know that.
Yeah.
He'll be on the pod round 2. You've heard it. You heard me, Chuck. You know it. You're coming on round 2 for one of our
Behave
episodes.
yourself. Slightly.
Keep your nose clean,
no,
Chuck.
don't, please. Absolutely don't. And none of those things. So we have, as I'm fond of saying, a very interesting show.
Oh.
Like last week I wasn't necessarily like as enthused about all the songs, even though they're all good. But this week, these are all just bangers,
My God.
bingers, bongers, swoopers,
Pants poopers.
googly eyes, pants poopers. So
Sploogers?
put on your diapers. Let's go. Sploogers, if you'd like. Heck yeah. So
Queefers.
let's start with round 1. And this week, round 1 pits Widget off of Mr. Wrong and Mr. Right, Fight the System, 1 Down, 2 to Go, 1994. And I believe this was actually a Mr. Happy outtake or on that session. So Widget versus Dark Ages off of Small Parts, Isolated and Destroyed, 1998. It's actually the opening track on that EP.
88.
So Widget versus, what'd you say?
You said
Did I say 98?
You did.
God damn
Oh,
it.
you did that thing that I did when we first started. You got the decade wrong.
1988. I'm just saying that so that I can go back and clip it in and re-edit it. So no one knows my fuck up. All right. So Widget versus Dark Ages. And this time I have the honor, I guess. I don't know
Punch.
how I'm feeling a little unprepared tonight, so forgive me, folks, if I'm even more
from
incoherent
your heart,
as
man.
usual.
Speak from your heart.
I'm gonna speak from my
or
heart,
some other body part.
Some other body part. From my ass.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Widget. So before we talk about Widget, let's unscrew the back of it and take a peek at the circuitry. God, this song's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And did you guys know that on the lyric sheet, the lyrics are just a schematic?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remembered that, and remember my copy of this got crushed into a cube. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna have to fucking scour the internet, or like, I need to have that. I don't know what happened to it. I need to like overturn every fucking silverfish infested
Do you want me to
box
mail you
in the
mine?
basement.
Like,
I have to say
that to you.
This is probably one of the best of the liner sheets too, because it's got so many notes and stuff, and so much W. Buzz Ryan shit in there, Tom stuff. So it's really great. All right, Widget. Well, listen, not a lot to say about the lyrics. I got some to say about the lyrics, and then I'll jump into the music. But so I don't know whether this is John. Clearly, it's first of all, John song through and through, right?
Yep.
Composition, he's singing it. He probably is. It's just the whole fucking thing. This is it's got piano in it. This is like one of them John masterpieces. So fucking good.
Totally.
And I wonder, like, what infernal machine is this fucking thing he's describing? I really wonder whether this is like he's really reading out of a schematic.
Yeah.
Or whether he's just making this shit up, because they're all real things, right? Like everything he's saying is a real thing as far as I can tell, but I have no idea whether he's making that shit up, whether he wrote it down and made it up, or whether it's a real fucking thing. But I love it. I love the delivery of the lines. It's so fucking great. And then all the callbacks to Rags and Bones, the Captain dive. I love that shit. It's hilarious. And the second explicit Shakespeare reference in a No Means No song, we've got the tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. For the last syllable of recorded time. It's from Macbeth. And then, of course,
tale told by an idiot, signifying
at
nothing.
the end, yes, singing nothing. And then Captain, oh my Captain, which is Walt Whitman, Captain, oh my Captain. So a little Shakespeare Whitman mashup, which is fucking great.
Jeez, goddamn library in there.
Yeah. Just amazing. The music in this is this is a head banger. This is a head banger. I love this song. And the lyrics are just cheeky and funny, but they actually add a lot to it. I feel like I love the droning way. I love the effects they put on the lyrics. Into the Captain motor. Like all that fucking shit is just
Capstan motor.
It's probably Capstan, right?
Yep,
I always hear it as Captain, but it's a real thing, I'm sure. I'm sure there are people out there who listen to this song and go, "Oh yeah, that's a blah, 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 widget," or maybe it's a sound box, like a guitar pedal, or who the fuck knows? But it's cool as hell. I remember first hearing the song when I put this on, it was great to hear an instrumental. It had been a while since I just had I guess only since Mr. Happy, since they'd really had an instrumental. And I do count this as one of their instrumentals, even though it has lyrics. It just feels like an instrumental. The lyrics are texture. They're not, I don't think it's trying to say anything right? It's not.
It's its own instrument.
It's its own instrument, right? And it's this song feels like John having a fuck ton of fun. I mean, the whole band, but in terms of the composition, it just feels joyful to me. It's joyful. This song is joyful in all respects. Musically, I love how I mean, I know it's on the downbeat, but it's one of those songs always that I can hear as either on a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It just swaps back and forth.
I wrote
I
that
love
down
that.
too. The
Did you?
same thing. I wrote
I love
exactly
that.
the same thing. Oh, that is so juicy. Where you're just like,
it's so
what?
Yep.
Yep.
It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. So Top Shelf. It's great. One of the great John compositions. This guy's a fucking powerhouse on when he's composing. A+. All right, Michelle, what do you got?
Okay. I drew on my paper. Let me get where you can see it. There's
pretty reflective.
Oh, here. I know. Okay, right there.
There we go. Googly eyes.
One set of googly eyes. Two.
I see 3 Y's at the end of a word there.
Three. Okay, I wrote okay, and then I wrote 3 sets of googly eyes, one for each of us, because this to me is one of the sickest things I've ever heard by them. The very beginning, this is touching on what you were talking about, Jordan. The very beginning starts this complex bass line that tricks your mind into hearing it differently, just as you were saying. And it's all because of where John comes in and puts the emphasis.
Yeah,
it's all where John comes in on the drums, and all of a sudden the bass line does a 180.
Yep.
And the emphasis.
The dress is blue. No, it's yellow.
It happens within the first 8 seconds.
Exactly.
It's just like from the gate. It's just fucking with you and blowing your mind. Okay, if you play drums, you need to absorb John's talent and fucking finesse into your well-being. This is a glorious calliope, an anxious mousetrap machine that grabs your attention and blows your mind. This is one of John's epic masterpieces, and I will never get sick of it. Oh, God. I'm going to not try and make sex noises. But the tone of Rob's bass is
so good.
Just I have no words for how luscious it is.
Snarly.
I think the piece it's farty. It's like it's just so fuck you funk. It's so good.
If it was a person, it would have a big square head like Frankenstein.
I don't know. It's just
big ass bolts.
Unbelievable the way Rob's bass sounds. The song is either in 4/8, a simple meter, and once again the music makes it sound like it's in a weird time signature because of where the accents are placed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking genius.
Yep. It is genius.
This is another one I'd like to see a full orchestra play, along with John set up. And full orchestra, the bass players are on the far, if you're the conductor, they're on the far right side. To see John's drum set up by the orchestral, bass players. Oh my God.
Nice.
I dig this song. I did the ending and how it ends like that, but this song is just stupendous. Oh God,
Widget.
It's so good. Yeah,
and I forgot
the beginning. Widget.
And the end too.
And
It's a nice bookmark. I forgot to mention this because this was recorded during the Mr. Happy era. This got to be Rob on guitar.
Yeah,
and the guitars in this is really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So
guitar
nice fucking job,
awesome.
Robbie.
It sounds like Andy type guitar.
It does a bit,
but
it ain't.
Maybe it is.
I don't think so.
I
mean, the wiki said it's from the Mr. Happy sessions. I think that's all.
But
it's kind of unusual to have Rob playing guitar, but even more unusual to have him actually sort of doing solos.
Yeah. Maybe Andy was popping in to hang out and was like, "Yeah, I'll play something." Maybe that's how it started.
Maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, maybe we should.
All right, Matthew, what you got?
I sort of think of the song like "Obsessed" a little bit, where
yep.
It's just like, let's see if we can fucking do this.
All right, I dare you. I dare you.
I love it so much. It's probably easily maybe my favorite track on this sort of compilation CD. It's certainly a standout just because it is so incredibly complicated and yet not so complicated. I don't know. It almost makes me dislike them because they're just like showing off.
Because they're too good. God damn it! Put it back in your pants.
No, just that it's so good that how can you interpret it in any other way? But they're showing.
I never felt that way about them.
No, I mean that's just the knee jerk. I suppose.
No, I know.
I don't know. Some of the playing, like the initial hi hat work.
Oh my god!
Some of the stuff he does on the ride cymbal is crazy, and then during the keys part, there's this double bass drum hit with the crash. It's like boosh.
I'm telling you.
It really sounds like sort of water to me, and there's this whole nautical thing, and I'm not quite sure what, unless the thing in common is waves, because I've listened pretty carefully with a background in acoustics like I have. I think they're actually talking about a tape recorder.
I was thinking that too, because I think a capstan motor.
The capstan is the little dealy,
yes,
So a capstan,
but that is
being from
a
nautical part. Exactly. During it's like a horizontal spinning spindle to draw in. Like it'd be the capstan that draws in the anchor kind of thing.
Yep.
Well, for a tape recorder, then that makes that line even better, because when it goes capstan motor, that's like how a tape player slows down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm not sure why this has been applied to there. We have a mass transit here in Vancouver, and it's called the SkyTrain. It goes out to various municipalities, and there's a line that goes out to a suburb called Richmond. And one of the weird things about Vancouver's SkyTrain is, like, if developers get enough money together, they can, and they want to pay for a station, they'll fucking stick another station on, so people will come to their fucking mall or whatever. So there's a new station gonna be built, and it's called Capstan Station.
Shut up.
So every time I see Capstan Station on the map, like, under construction, or it's going to be, open in 2026 or whatever it's going to be, that I hear Capstan motor.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
You know
so
what,
it's
guys?
probably there because of like a rail or nautical reason, but I'm not sure if there are these roundabouts that in rail towns where it's like a big merry-go-round for
right.
So maybe there's a capstan to rotate the cars around. I'm not sure, because it doesn't seem like, even though it is kind of by the water, but everything in Vancouver is by the water, so I don't know.
Right.
Anyway.
Wait a minute. Can I say something quick? Quick? On pianos, there's a part on there, a very important part, called the capstan.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Look at that. Jesus Christ.
It's stuck on the key. It's called a capstan.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Had to say that. Impression.
For sure.
Yep.
I noticed, of course, the Macbeth quotation, and ending with "Captain, oh my captain." Walt Whitman also in that movie with Robin Williams, which hasn't aged well, but I found it inspiring at the time. The
Dead Poets Society.
Dead Poets Society. Thank you. Yeah, Captain, oh my captain. Like, that was always like referenced, and he's being fired, and the kids are standing on their desk and saying, "Captain, oh my captain." It actually refers to the death of Abraham Lincoln. And the Civil War, and the quotation from Macbeth, it refers to when Macbeth finds out about the death of his wife, and
when Lady Macbeth has killed herself.
Macbeth is a bastard, does all sorts of shit, but signifying nothing. If everything is meaningless, so are awful things. I think is that kind of message, and maybe it's an interesting kind of juxtaposition that there's that message, these deaths, and maybe they're not that meaningful, and the rest is just him reading off a technical manual.
It's fucking cool.
It's all the same. It's all the same. Like it's all just meaningless. So I might as well listen to an incredibly technical and wicked song. Widget. Yeah. And of course, I think we have to call out the fact that we actually listen to Widget pretty much every episode, because that's what the thing on the bottom of Guinness can is called.
That's right. Do
you hear it in there?
All hail the Widget.
Yep. that's where that's where they keep the gas for it.
Yep.
The nitro.
Yeah, I also have a widget where I keep my gas.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Your anus?
We don't want to know.
Okay. Sphincter?
All right. We all said our piece on this masterpiece.
Yep.
All right. Then let's move on to something a little darker, a little more distant in time, back into the Andy era, Dark Ages. Put on your sunglasses. I know you wear them at night. And let's listen to a little bit of this one.
We are living in the dark ages. Haven't seen some daylight. It was seen dangerous. Shiny information. Not firing out like negative.
All right. Dark Ages. Okay, first of all, this is the first time in a while we've had a Live and Cuddly song, right?
Oh, yeah.
One that was also on Live and Cuddly.
Oh.
And I have to say, I love this song, first of all, right off the record. I absolutely adore Dark Ages. I really prefer the Live and Cuddly version. I think it's great. I think it's superior. I love it. Fucking love it. Mm-hmm. This song to me, this one of those songs, listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, meant to be played live. Really, really meant to be played live. I love that it's faster. I might be being influenced by my son Parker a little bit, who loves this album, but loves the small parts and day everything. But I kind of agree with him that it's the production's not great. It's a little quiet, and it's just a little quiet overall. And I kind of feel it's hard for me not to hear that now every time I hear it. So I like on the Live and Cuddly. I like it's the driving. It's just a little faster, and just hearing that, like, Rob's fingers on that fucking bass going so fast. Anyway, it's just great. And just this has some of those. I mean, Live and Cuddly, every time I listen to it, the banter is so good. John starting up, oh, I'm dying. And at the very end, Andy, I can't tell how they blew it, but he's like, oh, yeah, we blew it totally. I'm like, what are you talking about? You blew it. It sounded fucking great. And this is the one where you hear some guy go, you're a bunch of old fucks. And Andy's like, hey, thanks. It's like, it's so good. Anyway.
And that was in 1991, for fuck's sake.
That was in 1991 when I guess I thought I remember people like my friends, especially my friend Russell, going like, yeah, these guys are old men. It's like, they must have been like 35 or 40.
Right.
No, they weren't even, John and Andy wouldn't have even been 30 yet, I don't think.
Really?
No, they totally
It must have been in their 30s in 91. There's no way. But anyway, they weren't old. But yeah, most punks were like 18. So they
you want me to look up their birthdays?
No, it was just Robbie's birthday, right? Anyway, happy birthday, Robbie. So Dark Ages, a song that is as relevant, if not more relevant now than when it was written. Very salient. You could read this in one way. It could almost be like a theme song for the fucking Matrix. But this song is great. a great paean to the grand scam that is late stage capitalism. It's definitely strikes me as another John composition, and he's definitely singing. I don't know that he wrote the lyrics, but he's definitely singing. I suspect he might have written the lyrics because it has the same, God damn it. I was trying to talk to Parker about this earlier. Now I can't fucking remember it. It's the John song at the end of Worldhood, towards the end of Worldhood, where he's singing it, and the lyrics don't, like, if you read them on the page, they don't go in the meter that you'd think they would when you listen to the song. Anyway, that's how I feel about this song. The way that he connects the lyrics together, the way that they're expressed, the performance of them. It's not what you read on the page. It's like the end of one line becomes the beginning of the next line. So when you're listening to it, it's much harder to tell where the stanza breaks are and all this kind of shit. It's really fascinating. And there's some shit that's really, like at the very end, not to skip to the end, I'll cover other stuff too, but they're singing, I don't know, but they're cutting the don't to nothing. It's like, I don't know. And so it sounds more like I know, but they're not. They're saying, I don't know, but they don't pronounce that. They kind of step on it. And I always heard, like, when I just hear it and I'm not reading the lyric sheet, it sounds like, but it's in the dark. It makes me null and void, but it's not. But it's him in the dark. He makes me null and void, right? There's these, yeah. So anyway, there's just, it's one of those songs that it's good to read the lyric sheet, because there's some, the way that he kind of sings it, some of that shit gets a little buried in the best possible way. So how to coherently talk about this song. I mean, it's not, I don't know that on a certain level it's that opaque. There's a lot of talk about power. There's a lot of talk about the power and control, and how almost all of us are just fucking lost with the sort of manipulation that's given by the power brokers, the power trippers sitting there receiving facelifts, while the rest of us button pushers are all working night shifts. Although I suspect the button pushers could also be those with their fingers on the nuclear button who have to work 24/7. Right. So I think it could be either. And I love that line. Really love that line. And the misdemeanors seem so ghastly while the media punch is so lasting, because it really makes me think of how, especially on the right. And so forgive me, any of you. Well, no, don't forgive me, any of you right wingers, but so much shit like selling loose cigarettes, minor drug offenses, all these things that are really misdemeanors are the things that are turned for. They're treated brutally for it, for these petty crimes. And yet the highest crimes, war crimes, fucking financial crimes of billions of dollars, fucking nothing happens, right? So the misdemeanors seem so ghastly, but everything else, the media punch is so lasting, right? It's like, it's so...
If you pulled this shit that those two people do, you'd be fired and in jail.
Oh yeah, you'd be fucked.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I think especially salient now, we've got this stanza, and the Eastern comrades find out much too late, and free men are free to subjugate, under mega shadow, under 9 to 5, still it's self-extinction that keeps us alive. So this is when that period when the Eastern Bloc, Russia was, the Soviet Union was turning into Russia. It was kind of around this time. It was pre that time, really, right? They were still the Eastern Bloc still existed when this was written.
Was this 1988 or something?
88. Well, 98 according to me originally, but no, 88.
So there's this glasnost and perestroika.
Exactly. This feeling that, capitalism in the West equals freedom. So the Eastern comrades finding out too late that, no, that's a fucking lie. It's bullshit. It's just another system of control. None of that is freedom. It's just a different form of control. But I want to go on a little bit of a rant here, because I think while there's a lot of context to this, historical context, all of which is really salient, it's still salient today. This idea of information being locked beyond us, of us being trapped in that deep freeze, and the sense that the reason this song really resonates to me now is that I really feel like we're in this, an epistemological hand grenade has been thrown into the world, and the notion of common truth is gone. It's just been exploded. And there are these new fractures between everybody, and almost nobody agrees on a common truth. And the very notion of truth is just, it's less meaningful than it ever has been. Because, and you've got so many people clinging to these ridiculous notions that of what their root truth is, of their conspiracy or anything like that. And I won't go too deep into this, but I'm going to sound just as conspiratorial as those that I'm ranting against, but there are some folks who have engineered this in some really clever ways. There's this one guy, look him up if you haven't heard about him. He's a genius and a madman called Alexander Dugin out of Russia. He has Putin's ear, and he's been the architect of a lot of Putin's propaganda.
This is for real serious. Oh.
And his real notion, the underlying notion behind his philosophy, was that the way that you get control is to not try to convince people of a certain truth, but to convince them to break apart their ability to have any common truth, to destroy the notion of truth.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they did it in Eastern Europe. They did it in Russia, and it worked really well. And then they turned their sights on the US, and that's what the campaign of the 2016 election was. And that's why they threw their support behind Trump. Not because they like him, because they wanted to destroy the notion of truth. They wanted to infuse that infection here in the West.
What kind of psychological shit is this?
Exactly. I'm heartened to see the West in a way wake up and rally behind the Ukraine and sort of put to the lie what I think Putin felt like this moment was, that he anyway, this is going too far, but this song makes me think of that. It makes me think of that breakdown of common truth, how all that information is locked beyond us, that truth and what we look at as reality, what we look at as truth is not. It's controlled, it's drip fed, it's manipulated, it's shaped. And I don't know. None of us know. So just go to sleep.
It's so fucking frightening.
So just go to sleep. Musically, great fucking song. Great fucking song. Shit. The guitar work, I love the guitar work in this. It's almost what I would call closest to a recognizable guitar solo, meaning like this is what a guitar solo sounds like in other music, kind of.
Shit.
Well, it's the shit, but it's kind of like, Andy doesn't normally do a guitar solo that I'd go, oh, that's a guitar solo. But this was like, it's a guitar solo.
No, I totally see what you mean. Cause like they don't usually have guitar solos in their
They don't usually have them, not like that. And it's actually true. He has one that's really fuzzed out, and then it goes into one that's more like, no, he's just fucking shredding. That's just a shredding guitar solo. And I there's a part where it gets really quiet, and I know John liked to do all the really lush production, but there's this just weird noise going on in the background that's just sort of it's so neat. Yeah, it's this dark field, right?
I want to know, is it a voice? I think it's a voice.
It's a robot.
It sounds like a voice whispering something, right? It's that deep freeze. It's that the hymn. It's the hymn in the dark that makes me paranoid, right? Like it's so great though. And the way it ends, the way it ba, 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 on just that one note that's just off, and then it just cuts off into that one tone that's just sort of left with you until it's done.
And then Rob goes flap. No, and then Rob goes flap.
Flap. It's those little details that make it. And again, this is one of those songs that there was nobody else making music like this back then. Give me a fucking break. This is just so fucking good. And again, the Live and Cuddly version is genius as well. The way they have to play this fucking shit live is insane. So a true No Means No classic here. Absolute
totes.
Bona fide classic.
Did you say bona fide?
Of course I did.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. This starts out with an almost complete natural minor scale or Aeolian mode. You want to say anything about that, Matthew, with the Aeolian?
Aeolian? Do you have garlic in it?
So, I don't even know what you mean, but last time I mentioned a mode, you knew something about it.
Aeolian refers to
see, I knew he knew something.
The air, I think. Aeolian, it refers to like alien power would be like windmill power or something like that.
I don't know. I only know it as a musical mode. Yeah. So if you go up to a piano and start on an A and play all the white notes up to the next A, or in this case of this song, start at an A and go down, put in a little bit of groove, and you've got the intro to this song. So John's drums sound so stomping in this. And the echoing effect on them, I always really, oh my God, I loved
so good.
It
so
was
juicy.
There you go. Aeolus, the Greek god of wind. So there you go.
Oh, so
look at that.
What don't you know? That's what I want to know. Oh, Jesus Christ, Matthew. Okay, so the echoing effect on the drums. And is it this whole album, or was there something going on in this whole album with those echoing drums? I don't know.
Yeah, they're not just on this song for sure.
I fucking love it. As to the creepiness, John sings the majority of this with Andy maybe piping in a bit here and there, and I always dug the robot guy. That's
and that deep freeze is strangely pleasing.
Yeah. Okay, the guitar solo in this is gloriously fucked, and it's really something to listen to. I love how it just cuts off at the end. It just stops.
Yes.
I can't explain why, but the ending "Go to Sleep" section is one of my most favorite parts of this song. It's so colossal to me. Rob seems to finally get a couple of lines in here, and while John
Yeah.
and Andy harmonize the "Go to Sleep" part until the ending, which sounds so lonely and ominous. The ending kills me with Rob's flap that we just talked about. The
Whap.
flap. Yeah. And then the way it leads into Junk is just a bona fide pants pooper. Such a treat. Once again, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Listening to this over on the East Coast, I don't know, what was it, 1989, 1990, when I first got a hold of it, I kept saying, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Who's doing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are they? This is pre-computer Google. Who is this? Who is doing this? I just can't help but think that all the time. And just the wonder I had to be like, I can't believe this music I'm hearing. Who is
Exactly.
this? Who is doing this?
Fucking great.
And then there's Matthew sitting there living down the street from it. So
Yep.
it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, what do you got for us?
I think éolien is like the French for wind turbine. Now that I think about it.
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Anyway.
He's my what you call it? My encyclopedia. You're like Encyclopedia Brown. You are.
This song is incredibly topical. Being that it's 35 years old, it's like right back to the floor. I mean, it is very in that sort of no means no mythology that was certainly inspired by the heart of the Cold War. It can't be anything else, I don't think. And right now it is maybe even more true than it was when they wrote it. And I'm going to try not to talk about Russia, Ukraine too much in this, but it certainly has.
Do it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're right back there. We're certainly right back there. I'll talk about the music part first. I mean, it is maybe one of the more digestible. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. I don't mean to like call it down in any way. I think that this would be one of the No Means No songs that could be a radio hit. I think that more people can sort of understand it and appreciate it, just musically for the structure and everything, because it is such a beautiful, beautifully constructed song. It hasn't got any really sort of self-indulgent or weird or dissonant bits that people might not appreciate. I mean, sort of a general like a wider sort of listenership would appreciate. It is such a incredibly well constructed song. I love the little distorted guitar bits. It is, they're so paying attention to each other.
That's beautiful.
It's so cooperative.
Yeah,
such a cooperative, incredible song. I think it's John and Andy singing though.
But then Rob has a line.
There's a little bit of Andy, but I just hear more John, huh?
In the line live and cuddly version, you can hear Rob singing a little bit more too, but because there's more tracks and everything like that. Yeah, I love the sort of radio effects, like, and this deep freeze seems strangely pleasing. How I was going to talk about the music. That's right. Hi-hat is incredible. Of course, the bass line, that driving, repetitive bass line, that is my favorite part of, most of my favorite No Means No songs, has like a very repetitive kind of element where it just sort of changes a little bit. Andy's solo is amazing in both versions. Pretty crazy. I actually like the studio version better than like the live and cuddly version for the exact opposite reason for why I actually think that is a more colder, more deliberate kind of song, and that when it is sped up, it kind of loses a bit of that ominousness.
Oh, I can hear that. Yeah,
I feel that is on the studio version, because it is a scary situation that is in this. Like, you know, it's self-extinction that keeps us alive. It is so 1984. This song, you know, war is peace, freedom is slavery. That this capitalist system, of which this song is an absolute criticism, that everybody keeps their head down, but we have to keep our head down because it's the only thing that keeps us going. Like, keep your nose out of it. This deep freeze seems strangely pleasing. And then the power tripping, the power trippers receive facelifts. Like, that is a direct reference to Ronald Reagan. I think, you know, with plastic surgery, an actor being the fucking president. How fucking ridiculous is that?
Oh, yeah. We'll see how ridiculous. We'll one up that one. Don't worry.
At the time, and you know, it's certainly a song about information control, and you know, it's him in the dark. I think that's Slade. That's just this external Slade ominousness. It's that, you know, that monster beyond the firelight. Of course, it did make me think a lot about Russia, and I am very anxious about the situation in Russia and Ukraine, and I have been trying to not demonize the Russians. And in the last week or so, I've been watching a lot of man on the street kind of interviews on YouTube, and I'm hoping that they continue, because it really gives a interesting view into, I mean, they're Muscovites. It's all happening in Moscow. That's very, very different from, it's the big burg. It's the most cosmopolitan place, arguably, in Russia. Right. So, you know, people are maybe a little more willing to say what they're thinking, everything like that. But an amazing number of people are, I don't pay attention to politics. If that's what they say. And that is that, like, I don't have maybe they're afraid to, you know, commit to an opinion on camera, but maybe also it's just what you were saying, Jordan, just like they don't feel like they have the tools to distinguish truth. And a lot of them say things like that as well, which is terrifying. Awful. And another video that I watched was, it's you know, it's a Russian YouTuber, and she is interesting. Like, I've watched her before. She goes to Russia's a massive country with, you know, hundreds of nationalities and languages, and so she goes to the far north, and, you know, to the reindeer herders, and, you know, to a Tatar cultural festival. And she's released this video recently about how the fact that she makes her money off YouTube, and she's gonna lose her income if YouTube gets cut, either by the West or by Russia. You know, who knows? But she walked through a mall, and it's the biggest mall in Europe, and it looks like any other fucking mall.
Oh shit!
And it was just to see what stores were closed, and she's like, "Oh, Nike's still open. Oh, but Zara's closed." And it was just like every fucking thing. So, you know, it made me think that this song,
pleasing.
This song was written in the 80s, where, you know, maybe it was about capitalist numbness, and that line about the Eastern comrades get it too late or whatever, but they did fucking get it. They did get it. And like, these videos, the people being interviewed, they look like any fucking hipster. They look anybody from like fucking Minneapolis or Vancouver or, you know, wherever the fuck. Like, it definitely came in. That capitalism came in to that country, and this information control, they're so happy that they don't give a shit. You know, it's fucking bread and circuses over there in Moscow. If a bullet isn't coming through their window, they just don't pay attention. And, you know, it is maybe just their fucking turn in some perverse way, this adventurism that Putin is going on. And it really made me think about this song. And this is just, you know, another fucking revolution. I mean, I don't mean a political revolution. I mean, just a revolution of history. Just
another turn.
Just this fucking pattern. Anyway, Mega Shadow. Is that Slade? Is that Fear of Nuclear War? Under 9 to 5. Is this? We're all being crushed by something. Keeps us in line. Keep our head down. Be good worker bees. And that's kind of what I saw in those videos, and that's probably what people in the West. That's probably what the song was about when it was written. Back to the music. In the coda, the snare work and his rolls, and how the bass drum coordinates with the bass guitar.
John,
incredible song. Definitely a contender for my favorite. This one.
It's really good.
I gotta say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Favorite on this album, or favorite as in top shelf favorites?
Top of the food chain, maybe.
Certainly a contender for my favorite on this album, and
Can we stop the podcast now? I don't want to vote.
Nope, it's a hard one.
I don't like this.
This is a hard one.
They're going to both be hard ones.
Jesus Christ.
So much to say, and this song has so much to say about today's political situation that I am going to quite enjoy referring back to it again as I watch the news.
Yes. It should be playing under the news all the time. There should be the fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But go to sleep.
Yes. What you don't know can't hurt you.
The media punch is so lasting. Yeah.
It's so fucking prescient. And in that prescience, it just shows, like you said, Matthew, how it's just the wheel turning over and over again, right? Like it's slightly different details, slightly different flavor, but the same shit comes around. And No Means No are savvy enough to be able to pin it down so well at one point in history that those same spokes read the same way when they come around again. So fucking good.
Oh, and on a little lighter note, this is we always talk about this is one of those yo ho ho, we're a positive band.
Yeah,
that's where the quote this quote comes from, right at the end of this track on Live and Cuddly.
No, on Live and Cuddly, it's the song. That's End of All Things. That's the preamble to End of All Things. It's not
one and the same, really.
Well,
if you think about it.
Maybe where the track got cut, the version that I have or the MP3 that I'm listening to, it cuts right at the end of Dark Ages.
I don't know.
So who knows?
But anyway, I fucking love that Live and Cuddly version.
Yeah.
Fuck, do we have to vote on this? Let's just skip. Let's go right on to round two. Round two is... Oh, I don't know, man. I do know what my vote is, but both of these songs are fucking ace. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
I have to say that the moment that we're in tips me to Dark Ages. And so that's going to be my vote, but that's because that's the moment we're in. I love Widget. And there are other times where I may have said, you know what? Widget's so fucking fun. I want this fun ass song to go through, but Dark Ages is one of those ones. It's got so much gravity. And I can't bypass that. That's really, to me, what is the real genius of No Means No. And then there's also the musical genius, but this puts both of them together. So I'm a Dark Ages guy on this one. Michelle, where are you at? No, actually, let's let you vote second or third. Matthew, what do you got?
Oh, it's Dark Ages.
What's your vote?
Widget is brilliant, but I think it's kind of a novelty, and I'm looking forward to, I've kind of thought quite a bit about what the second round or when these songs, am I going to run out of shit to talk about these songs, or I'm going to repeat myself? Right? This particular
that's why
song,
we're going to have to bring on other people.
Write a fucking thesis on it. So yeah. Dark Ages.
Yep.
Hands down.
Okay. All right.
Michelle, where are you at? I mean, it's too, your vote doesn't count anymore. We've,
it's going to count for me. And come on, this whole episode can just kiss my ass, actually. The second round we're doing, fuck that. Seriously. I'm voting for Widget. That's the one I circled.
Do it.
But I'm telling you, the Dark Ages. That Dark Ages. I get it. I get it. I love it. This whole episode blows. All 4 songs tonight. It's all 4 songs.
It's hard, man. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sick.
I'm glad, but I'm also sorry for this format that I came up with, because
this should be illegal.
Sucks
this ain't right. This
All right. Well, we've made it wounded and bleeding past the first round. Now we're going to move on to hear from one of you. And just because we haven't in a little while, and there's a couple of you who have so kindly written in to us, you've been hearing us yell about how no one writes us anything, and you wrote us something and we haven't read your shit yet. And that's fucking stupid. So we're going to make sure these get read because they're excellent. And we don't mean to prejudice those who just write things in. And to that point, Matthew, why don't you give them your great little guilt spiel while I prepare this, and I've got the number handy, and then we'll read one of our listener submissions.
You know what I need to do is write down our phone number and tape it to my desk up here so that I can read it out because I don't have it handy. I'm not going to be able to.
Okay, when you want the number, just point to me and I'll give it in my little movie phone voice. I got it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So hi, listeners, it's Matthew. How are you? So we know we nag you all the time, but it's only because we love what you give us. So please do send in your.
Oh my god!
Send in your tasty nuggets of no means no stories. What no means no means to you. Your no means no origin story. You can record it. You can send it to no means nothing podcast @gmail.com. And we will read it out or we will play it. And write us the fucking whatever it is. We'd love to hear from you. Everybody likes to hear it. We like to put it on the podcast. Michelle is having some sort of conniption fit, and you can cause Michelle to have a conniption fit. All you need to do is send that shit in. We also have a phone number, which is
415-493-8630. That number again is area code 415-493-8630.
And the country code is 1, by the way. Unfortunately, the free service that we use, it cuts off after 3 minutes. So break it up into chunks, kids.
Talk fast or break it up.
Tasty, chunky nuggets, and we'll figure it out from there. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you very much for your submissions. And we don't mean to give you a hard time. We would like to hear from you. We're not gonna castigate you too much if you don't, but please do. Thank you.
No, it makes us feel good. Listen, we're doing this because we love it and we love No Means No. But hearing from you fuckers is pretty fucking great. I got to say, it gives us a little boost in the arm. So. If you're not going to give us iTunes reviews or any of that other bullshit, it's nice to hear from you. Even if you just want to send us a note that's not a submission and just say, hey, I listened to the pod. You guys are all right. Or fuck you guys and your stupid choices, whatever. But
sometimes I get excited about, new countries when we get a download from Bhutan. That's weird and interesting. And get a download from the Dominican Republic. That's fantastic. But, the United States and Canada and the UK and Norway and Germany, they're consistently the top 5, although bewilderingly Thailand has been in the top 5 lately too. Slovenia, pretty much every country in Europe except for Belarus. But anyway, yeah. Good, weird. I can't believe it's like 70, 80 countries who have downloaded our shit.
It's weird bullshit. We're past 2,000 listens now. I don't even know how the fuck we did
20,
this. But anyway,
20,000.
I mean, 20. Sorry, 20. An extra zero on there. 20. Yep. We passed 2,000 almost a year ago. All right, so
and that's
today
a testament
we're gonna
to the band. goddammit. I mean, that's how badass this band is.
Hell yeah.
Period.
Oh, so people only listen to us because they like us and we rule.
No, that's it. Exactly.
There's nothing to do with the band.
Band doesn't even make music anymore. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Everyone loves me.
Right.
They do. It's true. So I'm going to read a submission tonight from Stefan Thomas Lean. Stefan, this is awesome. Thank you for sending this in. Stefan sent us kind of a mixture of answers to all 3 questions. So I'm going to go ahead and read Stefan's entry while Matthew goes tinkle. All right. Here's Stefan. I was a big music fan, but loved anything kind of left field. Tom Waits, Primus, Chris Whitley, etc. Was studying film in Norway and had Billy Cockroach in my class. Legendary first vocalist in Mayhem, singer in brilliant punk outfit Cockroach Clan, and now also black metal band Order. He had a club in town where he booked all the brilliant punk and rock bands that came tour the country. UK Subs, The Cows, Turbo Negro, Motorpsycho, etc.
Oh, Motorpsycho's a shit.
He kept bragging about No Means No, his favorite band that were coming to town. I went and saw them in 95, I think, 2 drummers, and was absolutely blown away. Possibly the best show I have ever seen. Jordan here, I saw that tour, and it was the best show you've ever seen, because I saw the same fucking tour. Spoke to the super friendly guys after the show, too. I later became great friends with an old punk fan who somehow had avoided them. Got to see them on their Ausfort tour. He thought I was overdoing it with my bragging, but God, did they convince him. The songs, skills, and the humor, and the excessively tightly played Ramones cover. This band ticks all boxes for me. Super skilled players, amazing songs, and intelligent but super stupid songs all in one immaculate mix.
Yeah.
They make me feel special to have discovered them and seen them live. Everybody wants to have that magic X factor that blows everyone else out of the water. I don't have it personally, but I feel like I do when I listen to No Means No.
It's like I said, you feel like you know a big secret. I totally agree with that guy. Yep.
I nearly got a film script realized, working titled The Toilet Paper Tycoon, by a relatively big producer. The premise is a small-town guy with low self-esteem unknowingly falls in love with the world's most famous porn star on holiday in Norway and gets her pregnant.
Okay.
They get friendly due to the fact that they are both big No Means No fans.
Oh,
Soundtrack.
Oh shit.
They're both dreaming of attending a reunion show in Victoria, which is where they finally get together at the end and everything goes pear-shaped. I'm doing a last-ditch attempt at rewriting it into a TV show, 6 half-hour episodes. Do you know the meaning of?
Yes.
And that ends Stefan's thing. So, Stefan, please get that produced. If there's any producers out there, please get that shit produced. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
If Letterkenny is not going to put on some goddamn fucking No Means No in their soundtrack, somebody has to, for fuck's sake. So,
God,
I got to work on that.
Stefan, that was
like
awesome.
Outside connection to fucking.
It's a lot of fucking filming.
Yeah, I heard that.
Matthew.
I heard that. You got to fucking do it. They play music all the time in there. It's perfect for Letterkenny. Are you kidding me?
No shit, it is. Yeah. And
Jesus,
like,
but
wide selection of really good. Dude has good taste in music. Fucking
make the call.
Yeah.
Make the call.
Stefan, that was fucking awesome.
Yes,
I think we
you.
resonate with all that shit. Thank you so much for writing that in. And as you can see, everyone, please be like Stefan. Just write your shit. If you don't want to record it, we love to hear your recordings because we love to hear your voice. But write it in too. We'll read it. We'll get to it, even if we don't get to it right away. So thank you for that. It's fucking rocks. All right. So we are now going to move into the second half of our business, where we've got 2 songs separated by no tracks on the re-release of Mama. These 2 fuckers are right next to each other. So the vicious machine, the terrible machine, got pretty fucking buck wild when it did this. We're going to pit I'm All Wet, originally off of Betrayal, Fear, Anger, Hatred, 1981, and known by most of us off the Mama re-release.
Yes.
Goes up against No Rest for the Wicked, off of Mama, 1982. Holy fucking shit balls.
I don't need
That's all I got to say.
This distress in my life.
You guys, Mama fucking kicked ass.
Yeah, exactly.
This album kicked ass.
Kicks ass.
As you can tell, this song
it's been doing it for 40 years.
Exactly.
40.
This song makes me all wet. So let's listen to a bit of it.
Go into meditation.
Don't work, getting a new set. I am keeping that baby by its breath. And that's all you could try. Not dead yet. Here we are on the move again. Riding the sky with a DC-10. A movie screen and a couple of stars. Raping a girl in the back of a car. I am not crashing dead. I
Michelle, go into meditation.
No, I'm in the middle.
Oh, you're in the middle. Sorry,
I'm
Matthew's
always in
up
the
first.
middle.
I got distracted by the widget sound.
Oh, okay. And the fact that you're all wet.
Matthew, wipe your britches and tell us what you got.
I don't have a lot to say about either of these songs, although I totally love it. I just didn't write down a lot of shit. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, the beginning of Go into Meditation.
Yeah.
It's got to be John, but it sounds a lot like Andy somehow.
It does, right? But it's John, I'm sure.
Yeah. So this song, musically, it's just sort of pretty basic, super duper basic. It's kind of a silly blues song.
Michelle is shaking her head.
Oh.
It kind of is, though.
I see what he's saying, but it's just it's. Oh.
You'll get your turn.
No. It's just juicy. It's juicy shit.
It's juicy.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot to say about the music. I don't really like the way it's recorded. It sounds a bit hollow somehow. It is a little different, and I don't know what is different about it. I don't know. I didn't look into whether it was a different session or stuff like that, but it sounds a little more echoey and wobblier somehow than maybe it's the wetness. Who knows? Than some of the other songs on here. But the lyrics are fucking hilarious. And I hadn't really sort of looked into, but I mean, my feet don't work. I'm getting a new set. I'm that gleam in the baby's eye as he grabs the Lysol and gives it a try. So I'm all wet. Again, it's fucking Slade again, I think. It's Doom, man.
Doom.
Yeah,
Right.
Doom. It's that lurking. It's that fucking, again, a monster beyond the firelight. You know, I ride in the skies on a DC-10. I'm that crashing jet. I'm that face on a rainy night that stares eyes wide into your headlights. So is that something that you're about to run down, or is it something that is immovable that you're about to run into? It's kind of an ominous song, and it again, maybe the whole simplicity of it kind of belies the fact that it's actually about some pretty scary shit sometimes.
Exactly. Same fucking thing that they do all the time. It's genius.
Yeah. I'm not dead yet. I'm all wet. I'm not dead yet. I'm the love you can never forget. I'm the balance and you're the debt. Your payments are due. I'm the voice on the phone. Sell off your car. Mortgage your home. I am that canceled check.
Canceled check. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's ominous thing out there that you're not expecting, but's going to fuck you up.
Yep.
The
ass.
That is about all I have to say about it. It's just pretty quintessential No Means No, maybe sort of like an No Means No, being that's on their first album. It's sort of like a sentiment that permeates much of the rest of their 35 years of output. So there you go. I'm all wet.
Nice. All right, Michelle, what's your wetness level here?
Don't ask me that. It's personal.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to get personal.
No, it's all right. I'm just kidding. Okay, go into medication.
Medication. I like that better.
Go into medication.
Go into medication.
As Jordan and I both sip our brown liquors.
Yes, I have brown beer though that you can't even see through. So, okay, I was asking, is this it? Who says this? So you've answered it. That's just probably John. Here we have another toe-tapping doozy, and I resent that it's up against No Rest for the Wicked. I love the fat, funky bass sound and riff that's played in here, and it's really genius how much Rob morphs it into the piece as it goes. You can't go wrong with the cheesy sounding guitar. And the seventh chords he's playing like he's in James Brown's backing band. It's so inviting to dance to, listen to. I love it. I love it. This song, I don't know if I can read my words here. This song is easy to separate the ingredients and listen to each one separately. Mm-hmm. And I love the end product as well. It's so fun to listen to each separate ingredient and to the finished product. It's another example of their formula being evident quite early on, and it sounds stripped down, but it's really not. The use of a fat, tubby bass with a fuzzed out guitar is such a treat. Did you notice that? Like the Minutemen do that too. They have this really high end guitar with a fat, tubby bass. So you're getting two extremes of like the sound going out. So I love the line, "I'm a canceled check." That's amazing. And I'm not dead yet. There's a hole in the
check.
I'm that canceled check, and I'm not dead yet. There's a hole in the fishnet. Does he say that?
Yep.
I'm not dead yet. There's a hole in the fishnet.
Yep.
Oh God. Oh, the song's great. I love it.
So
I love it.
Is that like the fishnet that you're trying to trap the bad guy, or is it like hole in like somebody like the nylon of
the stocking? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys trying to make it into a sex thing again?
Yeah, always. So yeah, I think the song's pretty great too. Matthew, to your point about the production, I mean, we have to remember this is paired with Try Not to Stutter, Approaching Zero, and Forget Your Life, right? Like, so all those songs share this production. I think they sound different than the Mama tracks, as we'll see when we.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. It was on that EP, and then it was like
on
folded
Fear,
back
Anger,
into
Betrayal,
Mama. That's right.
Hatred.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yep. And I'll talk about this more when we get into No Rest for the Wicked. But this, to me, was the fork in the deep dark road of where No Means No could have gone. They could have gone this route, or they could have gone the No Rest for the Wicked route. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad they went the No Rest for the Wicked route. But I do like this song. But this is way more. This is a brutal shot of rhythm and blues, to quote Rob. Right? I mean, they're clearly fucking talented, even way back here. Rob's bass playing, but it's the kind of like. Well, I don't mean this to be diminutive because I don't mean it, but like if I was really drunk in a good fucking honky tonk bar and I heard someone playing this, I'd be like, yeah, that guy's a good bassist. This is a great song, but I wouldn't be like, what the fuck is this song? I'd be like, oh yeah, this is a great, listen to this. This is pretty great, but it wouldn't blow my fucking mind because it sounds like
my mind.
It's a blues song. It's got that structure. I recognize it. I recognize everything about it, but it's so fucking good. It's so good. And I think the lyrics are fucking great. So I'm all wet. Colloquially, I was looking this up because I know what it means, but I was trying to see like what exactly it means. And everything I read about it when I was talking like on, the fucking colloquial dictionaries and all that, it means you are wrong.
Get out
so
of
how,
here.
Yeah. So how funny that, you're all wet. Like I'm all right. It's all fucked up. I am wrong. So it's like an early proto version of saying I am wrong. I'm all wet.
No.
Yeah, for sure. And Matthew, as you were talking about, every lyric is about being just on the verge of fucking disaster. Like every little bit is, well, I'm the baby with the Lysol. I'm the fucker watching the snuff film on the jet that's about to fucking crash.
Oh, don't say
I'm
that.
I'm in the car is about to smash into the deer and we're both going to fucking die. Or I'm about to go into bankruptcy. Whoops. I'm not dead yet, but I'm all fucking wet. Like everything's fucked.
Yeah.
I am completely wrong, but I'm not dead. I'm not fucking dead. That's the last thing. At least I'm not that last thing, but everything else fucked, just fucking fucked, but I'm not dead yet.
This would be like a great way to end like a documentary film about these guys, right? Wouldn't this be like when they're putting the names of who did the
the credits?
The credits. It'd be a good one for the credits. For
sure. Rob showing his guitar chops. I mean, probably the most guitar. I mean, I talked about a guitar solo in the last song in Dark Ages. This one's got the guitar solo. This is the most straight up guitar solo ever. That's like, hey, check it out. I can play the fucking blues. Look at this.
It's kind of like the only kind of Rob guitar solo that's like kind of just rock-a-rolla kind of guitar solo.
It's just rock and roll.
Yeah.
This song is just rock and fucking roll. That's it. Yeah. It's just rock and roll, and it's fucking great. Is it peak No Means No? No. I'm glad they didn't go this direction. They could have, and they could have done it really well, and they would have been really good.
Jazz in it.
But this is not the jazzy, weird fucking shit. This was them going like, well, maybe we could play this kind of music. And yeah, you know what? They could, but I'm glad they didn't.
But if you're sitting at the bar and you hear this, you're going to go up front.
I would love it. I would
watch it.
I would dance my ass off, and then I'd go home and I would never remember it again. I hear No Rest for the Wicked, and I'd be like, fucking who are these people? I'm following them for the rest of my life.
Right. Yep.
So it's just the difference in what hits, which is what happened, basically.
Right.
Not that I've broadcast my vote or anything. So I was last, right? So let's now move into round 2. Let's take, we don't get a fucking rest. We're just going to hear this little bit of this track. All right, Matthew, you've been a wicked boy. What you got for us?
Uh-oh.
I love this song. It's again one of these sort of quintessential, just repetitive bass and drums, complex drums that is just like a hypnotic. I don't know. It's maybe that Zeker thing that I've talked about before, where you are
No
trying
fucking
to.
words for it.
Yeah. Well, there's very few words in this song.
Yes, it's true.
What are you? You are not. I really like that. It's not specific. You're just not. You are not. I mean, what does that mean? You are not. Not anything specific. You're just not. And then you are not you.
Why don't you just don't?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's fucking funny. Yeah. All right.
No,
okay.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Mm-hmm. Like you can't just don't do whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. You are not whatever the fuck it is that you think you are. You're not.
Wow. What a fucking psychiatrist. Right?
Yeah. No, indeed. There's so many snarly bit now. I don't know. I haven't got a lot to say really about this song, except that it just really takes me away. It really sort of gets into my guts. A couple of places in it where they really let go. So it's so liquid. It's just like fucking somebody somersaulting down a hill. Like, you don't know where you're going to end up. You're going to smash into the rocks, but boy, it's sure fun.
I am here for every contusion on that fucking trip. Hell yeah.
Totally. So many little interjections by John. Again, like there's a snarled no, and it's like hoo ha, all that kind of stuff. Like the breathing that is kind of indicative that this is, it's strenuous. What they're doing is strenuous. It's like there's no rest for the wicked. Just everybody's just breathing hard and going to so much effort. You climb up, you're dragged up. You're coming whether you like it or not, whether it's voluntary or whether it is extremely involuntary. You're on this trip. No rest for the wicked. And then who are you? What are you? You are not. And then they switch to what art thou? Thou art not.
Right.
I kind of like to think that, it's maybe going back to the old form it's archaic form in English, that this is an old thing. There's no rest for the wicked. This has never changed. It was the same back when you said thee and thou.
That's interesting,
that's about
Matthew.
it.
I like that. Yeah.
And then at the end, or close to the end, where they're just like, it's an absolute kinetic. I don't want to say it's a mess because it's extremely well structured, but it's just like they're just letting go, and all I can see is that neck motion that Rob would make when he was playing. He must have had like the thickest giraffe-like fucking neck, just rolling his bullet head around.
But he wasn't doing that around this time. If you watch those old videos, he's like standing there all stoic and shit.
Oh, maybe.
I guess
it was in there still.
What was the video with starts out with a bass drum there? The black and white one. It was fucking black and white, and Rob was just like standing there.
I forget. Wearing a dress shirt.
Maybe he had stage fright.
Oh, what's that video? God damn it!
I love the vocals where there are two. I mean, it's Rob in both of them, but he's singing no rest for the wicked, and then in the other track, it's just like no rest for the wicked. It's so incredible. It's like it's staccato as well as like totally fluid. Yeah, again, this is just one of the seeds of what was to come, I think, with this song.
Yes.
And I also paid maybe more attention to the song. Mama was hard to get at because it wasn't released until after the Andy era, I think.
It was after 0 + 2.
God, that's probably when I got it.
Right. So I had heard it because the radio station that I worked at had a copy, but I could only hear it unless I taped it. You could only hear it on the radio station, which was it was too bad because this album is so very, very good.
So good.
It's a genius album. It really is.
But I was going to say that I paid maybe more attention. I mean, no rest for the wicked is a phrase in English. I'm not sure whether it's from a poem or what. I didn't bother looking it up for this, but it's also another band that I was super, super duper into around when I got into No Means No. Sort of, it was a grade 9, grade 10 kind of time. New Model Army, and they had a song called No Rest. No Rest for the Wicked's name, one of the names of their albums. So I can always kind of like knit these two together. That maybe I love New Model Army and I love No Means No, and maybe they were inspired by something because they had a song of the same name or a similar name around the same time. So I paid more attention to the No Means No track when it came out because I was already into that New Model Army so much.
How about that?
Nice. Yeah. Nice. All right.
Nice.
Michelle, the strangest of us. What do you got?
All right. Come on with this total toe tapper.
Yeah.
This is unbelievably catchy, cool, and amazing music. These two make
you know what? In addition to tapping toes,
fairy. What?
This is a rump shaker.
Exploding bladder. It's a what?
It is a rump
shaker.
Yeah,
it's not just a toe tapper. It's a rump shaker.
A toe tapper. It's a
head bobber.
Cutting the rug.
Sorry for the interjection there.
No, that's all right, but I'm going to say my sentence again because it's important. These two make a two-piece sound like a fucking fury.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Rob's boyish soprano.
Oh,
boyish I can't. My tongue's not working. Boyish soprano is pretty surreal to hear, knowing what he ended up with at the end of his storied career. Now, I forget which liner notes it was. While I don't read lyrics, I read liner notes and who they thank and all that kind of stuff. He did mention boyish soprano somewhere, sometime. Maybe it was the Mama reissue where there's something about like Rob saying his boyish soprano. But
I have it here. I'll look later.
I think it's somewhere in there. This song is an amazing example of how less is more, especially when these two put their minds to it. While my mind gravitates to the bass, it's such an epic treat to hear that John Wright is
fucking hell.
Shit.
Are you kidding me?
God.
Like at what? He was like 20 years old or something?
He should be illegal. This man should be illegal.
He's not a human being. I think that's clear. He's not an actual human being.
Can I just say, I'm going to go off script here. I loved bass, and I was so gravitated towards bass. That's why when I heard Big Dick the first time, the first song I ever heard, I was like, huh? But now doing this podcast, John Wright is the fucking shit. Okay? Like,
End of story.
so talented.
When you meet the guy,
yeah,
he's just a fucking schmo.
I know.
Man,
I know.
He's just like this beer drinking, hockey
Mr.
watching.
Canada.
That makes it even
dude.
better. That makes it even better.
Totally. You're totally right. Both of you. Yeah, and now he's like cooking pizzas and like it's like what oh, I want to bronze him. He's just the shit. He's the
I just picture you like
shit.
spraying that bronze tan all over him is all I can picture.
Come on. Look, music is my life. It always has been and always will be. That guy is so talented. Please, people, put this on. Just ignore Rob if you can and listen to John play the drums.
Yep.
It's just like
you look at Rob.
Come on.
You look at Tom. You know, Andy's a different case because he's such so friendly. But like Rob and Tom, it's like, okay, these guys are kind of uncanny. They're they're weirdos. Might be a little bit crazy. But John is like the most normal dude ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you put him behind a drum set and it's just,
exactly.
Oh my
God. He channels a Hindu god with 12 arms. This guy.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like you can sort of get the whiff off of Rob and off of Tom and off of Andy as well. These are artists. These are musicians. John's just John.
I've smelled the whiff of this band too, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, that's
but again, I've smelled that whiff.
As we heard from Jens last week, right? That was.
I've smelled that whiff, and while it's not good, it's heartfelt and it's love, and it smells.
Passion. It is passion.
If I could make a perfume out of it, I would because it's love. Anyways, so okay, I just did John Diarrhea of the Mouth with the drums. John starts off joining the groove. Rob is laying down, and then the goddamn heat gets turned up. Put the song on when you've got to do something lame and boring, because if you do, it won't be. Like if you're feeling bad or shitty, and you got to do something you don't want to do, just put this song on and just don't.
I listened to this song all week. I had a whole bunch of work to do where I was smashing shit with a sledgehammer.
Oh, perfect.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that was good.
Perfect.
No, this song is amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
So, yeah. Fucking I love this song. This song is so good. This song is so good. Just that fucking start. That bass line is just like, it's so buttery. It's not buttery. It's just it's kind of, but it's just it's rolling and precise. And the part where he's breaking it,
you might say twangy, but like twang, not with a rubber band, but with like a fucking one of those exercise band rubber bands.
With the exercise band, exactly. And it's got some of that great early. It's probably one of the early examples of Rob doing the open D with the G string where he's really fucking around with that a lot. And I love that. I love that so much. Rob, as you mentioned, Michelle, his prepubescent voice, this is before his balls dropped, and he just sounds like it's not. It's before his vocal cords got shredded.
But it's got that sound like later. It's like it's two
exactly,
different guys.
But it's got that Red Devil snarl, and it's one of those reasons. Like I don't ever heard these songs live. I wouldn't want to hear this song live because I wouldn't want to hear it with this low voice. Like I heard a version of Red Devil with a low voice, and it was great, but it was like it's not right. Like it's just not right. I want to hear like no rest. I've got to hear that like. You know,
pathological thickening of the vocal cords.
Exactly.
Oh my
God. But I mean, no wonder he fucked up his. No wonder he fucked.
Urgency.
It is urgency, and no wonder he fucked up his vocal cords. There's all that no rest. He's just shredding it. It's just it's amazing. There's this song never dips below an 11. It's like goes from 11 to 15, but it never dips below that. It's just always, oh my God, it's so good. And again, I talked about how I'm All Wet and No Rest are kind of like two forks, the Robert Frost wood, right? Like, I'm glad they went down this
less traveled.
I'm glad they went down this road, because this is the road. Like, we talk about how this is the seed of No Means No, but the more I listen to these mama songs, it's like, well, yeah, they're the seed of what they became, but in the same way that an oak seed, acorn, already has the fucking tree in it. It's not lesser. It's got everything.
Right.
John is just as accomplished. Rob is just as accomplished. Like, they got better, I guess. But this song could be fucking anywhere in their catalog, and you'd be like, yeah, it's just as good. I don't have to look at the song and go like, well, it was good for the time. No, it's just fucking good.
Oh my God.
It's insane how well they could play back then. It's insane how well they could write music.
Yeah.
It's insane the passion with which they could deliver it. It's just absolutely amazing. Lyrically, yeah. I mean, it's very spare. It's very sparse. So it's very like the Rorschach on the cover. It's very easy to cast on interpretation of it because there's not a lot there, right?
Right.
But it definitely feels like, excuse me, you talked about, Matthew, the kind of denial and breakdown of identity. You are not you, you are not you, right?
They're doing that thing.
And the what art thou, it really made me think of Martin Buber, who had that I and Thou book, which was like a really big philosophy book.
Oh, here we go.
And I know that Rob would have read it, but in his reckoning, which I don't think Rob would truck with, but the idea of, instead of I and it, saying I and thou predisposes God and all this. And it made me think this, if he was referring to that at all, the reason for using thou, then when he's saying like thou art not, it's a denial of God. It's a denial of that force. It's like, no, just break all that shit down. You are not, thou are not. It's just, don't fucking cling to those structures. You are not you.
Yeah.
Shit is rough. There's no rest, but you are not you. That you that you think makes you up, you're not that shit.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really, I've been trying to parse out, and there's so many different ways to read it, so I'm sure this is not at all fucking it, but I'm really intrigued by this. You crawl down, you jump down.
Oh.
First of all, like jumping down.
You crawl
So I
down.
was thinking of heaven and hell, because it really feels like this pull, like, there's the up and the down, heaven and hell, no rest for the wicked, which is a biblical phrase. That's where it originates from. But they invert it, right? So this idea of you jump down. No, you usually jump up. So the fact that you're jumping down or crawling down into hell, and then you climb up, yes, but you're dragged up into heaven instead of you'd think you'd want to be dragged into hell and jump into heaven. So they invert it. This just sort of like, no, man, it's just fucking, I just love the ways, like, using these words in ways to pull in these other directions that subvert the expectations, even at this young little fucking age. He's being a fucking genius about it.
Yeah.
And just that, and Matt, I agree with you, Matthew, that idea that he's talking about, what are you? And then what art thou? That sort of like casting, even way back fucking then, like the biblical language, it's still bullshit. Thou art not. That it's not that whatever it is that you think you are, you're not that. In a way, sort of that same sort of forget your life, like let go of that shit. You're not that. There's no rest for the wicked. We're all fucking tired as shit, but you can let go of that. You're not just that. You are not that. You are not you. That you is your chain. That you is the thing that keeps you trapped in this fucking ideas of your fucking life. And you're not that. You're not you. But this song, outside of all of that, that's not the part of the song that grabs me. I mean, I love the lyrics. I love them. But it's the fucking music. No, it's the music. The music is just...
For sure.
The bass line in this is insane. It's just driving. It's fast. It's precise as
There's
fuck.
2 incidences where they fucking just let it go. It's like...
And there's only 2 instruments. There's just 2 instruments in this song.
Oh, fuck.
2 guys. Blowing your mind.
And Rob, the way he uses his voice, the way he uses his voice as an instrument in this, it's just, I cannot believe they were that young when they made this. I can't believe this is from 1980 fucking 2. Nobody else was making music like this in 1982. So fuck all y'all way back when.
Gift.
It is.
What a gift these guys gave
and
us,
the more,
seriously.
this podcast, almost every time I come across a Mama song, which I've always appreciated, I'm this time just fucking blown away at how good this album is.
Yes.
And when I'm telling you, when we look back, part of it's luck, but when we look back at the rankings, Mama has more winners than many. Like they've come out pretty fucking rosy, I have to say. Yeah.
How about that?
So we'll see in the final reckoning, but it wouldn't surprise me, strangely, if one of these songs came out towards the end. I don't think it'll win, but some Mama song is probably going to go maybe down to the final four. We'll have to see.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's going to be Red Devil. But anyway, saying that stuff.
I can't stand the suspense.
Yeah. I fucking love it. All right.
I thought today about it. I think I know what the number one song it'll be, and it's not
Don't say
Mama.
It.
No, I won't.
I just thought of one more thing, which
say it.
It's a linguistics thing.
Super
nerdy. Okay, so you know how in French there's tu and vous, where you don't refer to someone as tu or vous. There's a familiarity and sort of a thing about respect. You use the second person plural if you don't know somebody very well, or if they are a sort of more in a higher social position than you, sort of thing. And you say there's even a verb tutoyer, where you are bringing someone down to your level. That is the difference between you and thou in English, and it has collapsed over the centuries. And so you is, I think, the familiar form, and thou, actually I can't remember which was which, but like thou was the familiar, you was the more formal, and so maybe there was some element of that as well.
I thought it was the other way around.
I mean, it might be.
I thought it would be, just as a layman saying that. Like,
but that also could be a temporal thing for us. Yeah.
I have had a lot of beers, so yeah, I was thinking there's a temporal thing, but also I think maybe there is a formality thing here too, where what are you? What art thou? One of those is somebody getting too big for their britches, and it doesn't matter. Either way, you are not.
You're still
not you. You are not thou either.
You are not.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that in there.
Like, who does that?
Yeah, well, these guys do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they do.
Michelle, we're going to give you the honor of voting first tonight. What you got for us?
Oh, I put my paper up. This was hard for me. This was really hard for me. I really love both of them for some of the same reasons and some very different, but I'm, of course, voting for No Rest for the Wicked. Wiki.
Matthew.
Me too. Because I really like the lyrics. They're very clever for I'm All Wet, but it doesn't like kind of transport me the way that No Rest for the Wicked, where, I was listening to it on the SkyTrain on my way to work, and I'm just like, not even giving a shit what people think, just like, it's like basically banging my head at, 7:45 in the morning on the mass transit to see.
I could never listen to No Means No at that hour.
I do it all the fucking time.
The best time.
No, that's too early.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's unanimous.
No Rest has my vote.
No Rest for the Wicked for me. It's 3-on-3. No rest for the Wicked. Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Snap into a mama.
Snap into a slip.
We have finished our voting. I can't. I'm sorry, they're attached. So we're going to move on to Andy's corrections.
Yep.
And thank you, Mr. Kerr, for supplying these as always. I have the honor, the privilege of reading these today. We've got 2 of these for you. We're going to start with Body Bag. So Andy has this to say. One of the earliest and best 3-piece No Means No songs to me. I remember when Rob played me I almost said bass again.
Oh my God,
I almost
you
fucking did it.
Jesus Christ.
But I stopped myself.
Well, you're getting better, I gotta admit.
When Rob played me the bass guitar vocals demo he'd done on his 4-track machine, The bass line was very catchy, but I loved the way the guitar part Rob had written snaked its way through what the bass was doing. To this day, I think the arrangement is so clever. As for the lyrics, I think they fall into the category of sinister but silly, a phrase we often used to describe the residents. Apart from when the penultimate section kicks in with
good for him.
Penultimate section kicks in with a rock feel, the song is distinctly unrocking in a traditional way, and yet rock it does.
Yep.
A good dance number, if you ask me. I would agree. I think the live version is the best, but I liked that we tried experimenting with lots of things when recording it for You Kill Me.
Oh,
fuck yeah, all of that.
God
Fuck yeah,
damn.
all of that.
Oh.
All right. Next up is Junk.
Oh my God.
The music of Junk was written by John and me. John wrote the first half, or 2/3 really, and I wrote the end bit. The time signature is a bit mathy, to use a semi-modern term, in that it's mostly in 5/4 and ends in 7/8. The lyrics are mine. I recall that at some point on tour, Rob turned to me and said, "I think I finally worked out what the lyrics are about." I don't remember if he told me or not, but in the song, I wanted to express how people, in their efforts to make sense of their lives, create belief structures of all kinds in order to function. These build up over the years until a time comes when these structures do the opposite of what they were intended to do, namely, threaten to crush and destroy us. Does this make any sense? Anyways, about those squeaky toys. Winky emoji.
Winky face.
Nice. God, fucking how, I don't know.
Craig did the squeaky toys.
Small aside to say how fucking lucky we are to get these blasts of behind it. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
Yep. We're going to fan geek here.
We are fan geeking out. So listen, everybody, we have, we are all living in the dark ages, and we're going to have to put the widget on the shelf. And there's going to be no rest for the wicked. And unfortunately, I'm all wet. It's a little bit wet. And so we're hanging it out to dry.
Widget on the shelf.
Widgets on the shelf. But these have been great songs. We're super, super glad that you joined us for another episode. We hope to see you next week. Again, we're cutting it real fucking close, so we hope to not have to delay. We're going to keep doing our best to pump these out for you. But let me just tell you that No Means No Thing is produced and edited by yours truly, Jordan Flato. Co-hosting and excellent podcast graphics are by Matthew Kowalik. Mr. Michelle Strangest, the strangest of us, is our third and everyone's favorite co-host and official Foley artist.
Stop it.
Thank you to No Means No for the use of stock taking as our intro and outro music. And as always, to Andy Kerr for the excellent corrections. And have you heard the news? The dead walk. Drum roll, please. We're going to see what the fuck's coming up.
The dead walk.
Here we come. We haven't done that song yet. Maybe that's coming up next. Wouldn't that be ironic?
We have.
No, we have not. We've not done It's Catching Up. Ooh, I like it. Nice.
Yeah.
What's that? A sunflower with a thing? What's going on over there?
That's called the
Trizub.
It's a Ukrainian symbol. It's a trident.
Hey, cool.
This is going to be a good one. You got to look in Facebook, remember, because I don't have the other chat. So here comes round one.
Wait a minute. I got to look. I didn't see it. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Kaiju battle.
What is happening with these, fucking episodes here? This
is an interesting one. Nick's coming up.
I think I need
didn't we do that one already?
No, we have not done either of those. Nope.
Okay.
Here comes number 2.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yep.
This is getting serious here. I don't know if I can handle.
It's getting serious, and every time there's a couple of songs that I'm like really waiting for because I just want to get them out of the fucking way because they're just haunting me. Luckily, they're not coming up yet, or maybe unluckily.
It's incredible.
But it's going to be a good episode. It is incredible. It's going to be fun as shit. I look forward to it.
I can't
and for
say
the rest,
what these are, right?
Nope. For the rest of you, fuck off.